It's a weapon of praising. Praising is so powerful as prayer. Praising changes things. Praising breaks doors that are closed. David says that rejoice in the Lord always. And again I repeat it, rejoice. The Bible says that rejoice in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. So when we praise God, when we open up our hearts to praise God amidst circumstances, we call up the hosts of heaven. We call upon the hosts of heaven to come and join us in our praise. And when our praises teams up with the praises of the hosts of heaven, there is no situation, there is no power, there is no circumstance that can stand against the work of the Lord. As Christians, let's learn to rejoice in the Lord even amidst the situations.
Now whisper to your
neighbor. Tell
them that learn how to praise God. Even though you are in a problem. We don't praise God in good days, but worship Him in the problem, so that He might work on our issue. Our praises, it is equal to our prayer. Whenever praise God, we speak about what He can do. We speak about His greatness. We speak about His power. Some of you, you're like me. You're too mean. But if a person praises you and speak about your goodness, you end up when you cannot prohibit your heart to give. As you see, we as people, if we can give those that praise us, how about God? The Bible says that He sits in the midst of His praises. When He sits in the presence of His people, He shows His godliness. Let's open up the book of Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 18.
And after David had finished talking with Saul, talking with Saul, Jonathan became one spirit with David, and he loved him as himself. From that day, Saul kept David with him.
Is it verse 2?
And did not let him return home to his family. And Jonathan made a covenant with David because he loved him as himself, and his belt. Whatever mission Saul sent him on, David was so successful that Saul gave him a high rank in the army.
Daudi n'agendanga buli Sawulo gye yamutumanga n'ayisa n'amagezi. Sawulo n'amufuula omukulu w'abasajja abalwanyi.
This pleased all the troops and Saul's officers as well.
Abantu bonna ne bakisiima era n'abaddu ba Sawulo.
When the men were returning home after David had killed the Philistine, the women came out from all the towns of Israel to meet King Saul with singing and dancing. with joyful songs and with timbrels and lyres. And they danced, saying, Saul has slain his 1,000, and David his 10,000.
Awo lwatuuka nga bajja Dawudi bwe yakomawo ng'asse Abafirisuuti, abakazi ne bava mu bibuga byonna ebya Isirayiri nga bayimba era nga bazina okusisinkana kabaka Sawulo, nga balina ebitaasa nga basanyuka nga bakutte ebivuga olw'omusanvu. Abakazi ne bayimbiranga nga bazannya nga boogera nti Sawulo asse enkumi ze ne Dawudi obukumi bwe.
Saul was very angry. This refrain displeased him greatly. They had credited David with 10,000, and he thought, but me with only thousands?
Sawulo n'asunguwala nnyo ekigambo ekyo ne kimunyiiza, n'ayogera nti Dawudi bamuwadde obukumi, nange bampadde enkumi zokka. Kale ayinza okweyongera okuba naki wabula obwakabaka?
And from that time on, Saul kept a close eye on David.
Awo Sawulo n'amutunuulira Dawudi n'eriiso ebbi.
Now listen to me.
Kati mumpulirize.
God raises people
Katonda ayimusa abantu
in the places where others have ever been.
Mu bifo abantu abalala gye batabeeranga.
Listen to me.
Muwulirize.
Let's evaluate how the world runs
Leka tugeraageranye ensi engeri gy'etambulamu
and how the system of the world runs clearly.
Nabutya enkola z'ensi engeri gye zitambulamu bulungi.
How many of you have your own home?
Bameka ng'olina amaka agago ewaka ewuwo?
Wanika ku mukono gwo wenyumirize mu katonda ky'akuwadde.
Be joyful in what God has given you.
Listen to me.
Wuliriza.
I don't know when that home became yours.
Simanyi ewuwo eyo wafuuka ddi ewawo.
But I believe before it became your home,
naye nzikiriza nti bwe wafuukira ewuwo,
someone else owned that land.
Omuntu omu yali nannyini ttaka eryo ly'oliko.
And before that someone owned that land,
era omuntu oyo nga tannaba kubeera nannyini ttaka
it also belonged to another man.
Era waaliyo nannyini y'omuntu omulala.
So that is the system of the world.
Kati eyo y'engeri y'ensi bw'etyo bw'eri.
Okuva ku lubereberye.
From the Genesis.
There is dying
waliwo okufa
and being born.
N'okusaalibwa.
There is falling
waliwo okugwa
and rising up.
N'okuddamu n'oyimuka.
There is throning
waliwo okutuuza
and dethroning.
Note n'okuggyako.
And God purposes this in a life of every man.
Era Katonda kino yakiteekateeka mu bulamu bwa buli muntu yenna.
And it's tied in what we call seasons.
N'akiteeka mu kye tuyita ebiro.
When you read in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3,
bw'osoma ekitabo ekyo,
it speaks about seasons.
Kyogera ku biseera.
It speaks about a season to be born.
Kyogera ekiseera eky'okuzaalibwa.
And a season to die.
N'ekiseera eky'okufa.
A season to plant.
Ekiseera eky'okusimba.
And a season to harvest.
N'ekiseera eky'okungula.
But there is a lie that we have in our lives
naye waliwo obulimba bwe tulina munda mulamu bwaffe,
that only our minds
nti endowooza zaffe zokka
are fixed on only bad seasons.
Byekutte ku biseera bya bubi byokka.
Good enough that we are born.
Kyekirungi tuzaaliddwa.
Most of us, we are just thinking about dying tomorrow.
Naye basinga tulowooza ku bukya bwe tugenda okufa enkya.
But amidst the season of being born and death,
naye masekati g'ebiro by'okuzaalibwa n'okufa,
there are other seasons that have to take place.
waliwo ebiseera byaffe biteekeddwa okuba nga
with seasons of planting
ebiseera by'okusimba
and seasons of harvesting.
n'ebiseera by'okungula.
And we plant in different ways.
Ate tusimba mu ngeri za njawulo.
Like most of us,
abasinga kuffe
we plant through education.
tusimba okuyita mu kusoma.
We go to schools,
tugenda ku ssomero,
we acquire education,
ne tufuna ebyokusoma,
and we plant our seeds.
ne tusimba ensigo zaffe mu kusoma,
And we expect a harvest.
ne tusuubira amakungula.
But because of the situation that happens in our lives,
naye olw'embeera ezibaawo mu bulamu bwaffe,
maybe because we've not watered much for our seeds. Maybe because the season is not yet for harvest. Maybe because our seeds are just still germinating and growing. Our hearts begin to get troubles and forget about the harvest. I happen to go into certain places like Mubende where people plant a lot of maize. You can find people when they have a lot of maize. Because of present day situation, a certain person starts to sell off his maize when it's still in the ground.
And I say, what will I gain when my children are dying of hunger now? When time comes to pass, they expect a harvest. But in the midst of hope, there are some things that arose. Some of them to go to plant. They even borrow some money. They insert, meaning they have some debts to pay. They have settlement to pay school fees. But their hope is seen in the soil. It is just on the world. And then the voices start to come. You can still sell this. And then you save the situation of today. How many of you like that? And some of you have ever done such. It is not the but you say, let me bow today so that I may not die today. The God that gave you the power to sow, the God that can help you to go through that process, that is look like you don't have something until the harvest time. Praise be to Jesus. Let's be careful about the season. God is a God of all seasons. There cannot be the harvest. We are looking at the planting time and the harvest time. When you plant today, you expect to harvest tomorrow. But in the midst of planting, there is a process of watering. The process there is that of pruning.